Hi, I'm Dave Darlington, and welcome to this deep dive video about Waves StudioRack, the plug-in chainer that's been completely reimagined and redesigned. And today's video is about the module that allows you to process in multiband, meaning you're splitting between various frequencies and doing different processes on different parts of the frequency spectrum. And what StudioRack allows you to do is basically turn any of your favorite plugins into a multiband plugin. If CLA76 is your favorite compressor, you can have a multiband CLA76. Or you can turn the API 2500 or RVox into a multiband compressor. If you saw that first video, I showed you my master settings where I put R compressor across 4 different bands. I basically turned it into a C4 type of multiband compressor, but using R compressor, which is a little more familiar to me. And you can see that I have the 4 different bands separated by these frequencies here, and I'm using R compressor 4 times. And if you notice, I only have the one in the low mids turned on. That's because I didn't need to process the master on the upper mids or the highs or the lows, but I did feel like I wanted to take a little bit of tubbiness out of the lower mids. So I just had a very gentle compression setting on the low mids and deactivated all the others. So just reiterating my point about turning any one of your favorite plugins, what if CLA 2A was your favorite? So you just type in the search box the first few letters, and then you can option drag. So there, in 10 seconds, I made a C4 with CLA2A as the basic compression unit on each one. You can move these frequency points. These are the crossovers that divide the section. You can have up to 5 and just move. You can make a very narrow mid-band and maybe some wider outside bands, or whatever it may be that you're trying to process. You have complete flexibility over where the sections divide. And then you can adjust each frequency separately. Another cool thing about both the parallel and the multiband all include on the output side an S1 or the Waves imager. So not only can you then pan various frequencies right and left, but you have a width control. You can make them a little wider than normal stereo, a little narrower, or you can even reverse them. You see when it goes orange there, that's actually reversing the stereo field from right to left. So you can then widen your highs or your upper mids. You can narrow your bass and low end to bring that more into focus. And that's one of the main tricks in mastering that you do is you tighten up the bass and you spread out some of the high frequency energy to give the record a big wide panorama feeling. So that's basically multiband processing in a very simple form. And the producer of this song went a little crazy on his guitar solo, and he invented a preset that I'm going to show you right now, which kind of defies the parameters of invention and imagination. He really took it way out. This is only on the guitar solo right now. He did a little EQing, rolling off some extraneous lows and extraneous highs that we don't need. Then he inserted a Renaissance Axe, the compression unit that's really, really good on guitars. And then you'll see some parallel splits here so that he could do different effects on different parts of the frequency. Now, the reason to do the parallel is so that the guitar solo can come through unprocessed. And then you see over here on the other part of the parallel, we have a multiband. So you're really making a cantilever. You got a parallel and then you fan out into multiband on the processing side. So here's his one, which I retitled Insanity because it's just kind of nuts, all the things he's doing. He did some EQing down the lows to get a little more dirt out before he sent it to an H delay. And this is a dotted eighth note. And if you look at the S1 module, you see that it's panned all the way over to the left. On the other side, we have a 16th panned all the way to the right. So we have 2 different delays going on, but only on certain frequencies, on the low end frequencies and the low mid frequencies. So a dotted eighth on the super lows and a dotted 16th on the mid lows. On the main mids, the upper mids, he put the Brauer Motion panner. So that's going crazy over there. And then on the highs, on the sizzly part, he put a super long reverb. So the highs have this long bloom. First, let's play it in total, and I'll show you what it sounds like. So here's the solo without anything on it. Now I'm going to turn the insanity button up and you'll see what you'll see the levels all come up and you'll see what they're doing. All this macro is really doing is bringing up the process side of the parallel. So the main guitar solo is still going through, and then the process side is controlled by the amount of this macro. If I turn off the main, you'll hear only the process side. And you can also do this by hitting the solo button in any of these splits on the multiband. So there you could just hear the 4 frequency bands being treated completely different. And here's what the processing sounds like without the main. That's a lot of cool stuff going on, and believe me, the producer of this song is crazy enough to have all those going on at once. It's pretty imaginative, and it's a very, very cool effect. This one called Metal Box is just in parallel with some flanging and the J37 tape, an oral exciter for tone, and then a flanger. So here's Metal Box. Now this is not a multiband, but it's just so cool I wanted to show it to you. The third one, multiband, is 4 different delays and just panned around by frequency. He called that rinse and repeat. Just the processing without any main guitar. So you can hear that different frequencies repeat quicker or slower and longer or less feedback, etc. So that's just an example of how you can let your mind run wild and build these kind of cantilevered constructions with some wild effects using any of your favorite stuff. So don't be afraid of multiband. It's actually a key that unlocks quite a few wild effects.